Valley, California. Gio Scelzi falling into line behind him, the orange and white number 18 car. Driver out of Fresno, California. Logan Contractors, Ted's Body Shop entry for Gio. Buddy Kofoid out there as well, driver out of Penn Grove, California. Driving for Crouch Motorsports this year. High Plains Building Division Mobile One sponsored entry for two-time USAC Midget Champion. Strong season for him last year and already off to a strong start this year. Picking up a win at the Talladega Short Track a couple of weeks ago. He rolls by, I see her in the 11 car on the front straightaway. There's Anthony Macri as well, one of the Pennsylvania Invaders and one of the high rollers, the full-time competitors this year with the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Dillsburg, Pennsylvania native. 23 wins for Macri last year, most in the country. Picked up his second Central Pennsylvania Points Championship in the process as well. Good to have Anthony with us all year long. Dylan Westbrook, 47X car, working his way out of turn number 2 right now from Scotland, Ontario, Canada.
Hills Racing, TrueNorth.bet, Nitro 54 variety, Sovereign Fusion, good-looking car.
And Slater Helt behind him, working into turn number 3, that all-black 22S. Driver out of Cactus Flats, Missouri.
Helt's Turf Farms, Regency Homes, Randy Davidson Trucking.
Also got Joe B. Miller right there in the 31 car in turn 3, and Connor Morell out there as well in the 2 for Mark Daly. We'll go green here for Hot Lap session number 1, presented by Dirt Draft.
Caution as that first hot lap session comes to an end. Oh, we're going to
You're just getting the racetrack worked
on,
in. Yeah, getting the racetrack worked in a little bit more here.
You see on the screen, Macri fastest, Kofoid, Westbrook, Helt, and Scelzi. Macri, Kofoid, and Westbrook all under the 16-second mark.
And track only going to get faster here, of course, as it gets more worked in and more cars get on it. So we'll go green-white checkered here to conclude hot lap session number 1. White flag already out here for hot lap session number 1. And everybody's still chasing Anthony Macri's time. And there's the checker. As maybe some excess fluid off the headers of Joe B's car. McGarry Motorsports entry. And Buddy Kofoid goes to the top on his final lap. And Macri goes back. So a good little battle there for fastest in hot lap session number 1. And it's going to be Anthony Macri who leads us off here, 15.584.
It's already been a good start to the season for Macri. Won at BAPS last month. Finished second just Friday night at Williams Grove in the season opener there. Was
Great.
quick time earlier this season at Volusia.
Great battle at Williams Grove with Zev Wise, too. It came down to the final couple of laps, and Zeb scored his first career Williams Grove win over Macri, who certainly knows his way around there. Buddy Kofoid was second fastest there to 15.635. Brad Sweet, Slater Helt, and Dylan Westbrook, the top 5 in Hot Lap Session number 1, presented by Dirt Drafting. And everybody will head to the infield here and get staged and set up for qualifying. And we'll roll cars onto the speedway for Hot Lap Session number 2. Good look at Alex Bowman here in the 55 on the front stretch. Ally Slade Shocks Day Chaser sponsored entry for Alex. Says he's set to compete in the full high limit schedule this year. 26 high rollers officially. And they'll all go after the season-long points championship. And we mentioned Hasty Bake earlier. The winning car owner and driver each will take home a Hasty Bake at the end of the year.
$30,000 bonus to the series champion, which makes for a pretty good payday if you can rack it up during the 11-race schedule here in the High Limit Series and then take home the series championship as well. A lot of opportunity to fatten the wallet.
That is for sure. Everybody out on the track here for group number 2, just getting some push trucks lined up. And again, after this, we will go into double car qualifying.
You see that second car there, the 14T, Tim Estenson from Fargo, North Dakota. Mission Foods, Arai Helmets, Zoe CBD.
Saw him in action last week. Made a few starts this year. He was racing at the US 36 Speedway this past weekend. Good luck there, too, on FloRacing and rolling into turn number 2 right now. The 88 of Austin McCarl from Altoona, Iowa. Winner last weekend with the IRA Series at the 34 Raceway, where we'll head in just a couple weeks' time here with the High Limit Sprint Car Series. There is Tim Estenson as well, if you're watching on Flo, working down the back straightaway. Ryan Timms at Oklahoma City, one of the brightest young stars right now in dirt track open wheel racing, tackling a full USAC midget schedule with Keith Coons this year.
Been a busy start to the season for Timms already, Dylan, with 12 starts. Finished sixth at East Bay back in early February, Valentine's Day, in fact, but did score a 360 win already at Volusia. And you said it, he can wheel it, and one of the young phenoms in the sport. 13 wins last year for Timms across the wing sprints and the midgets.
Aromas, California's Justin Sanders on the backstretch, entering turn 3 right now in the Swindell Speed Lab number 39. Victory Fuel J. Davidson Scrap Metal sponsored entry. Good looking race car, and good to have Justin with us as well as a full-time high roller this year. A couple wins for him already back home at the Placerville Speedway. Ian Madsen in the 2KS right here in front of us, crossing the start-finish line right now, and the Iowa Barnstormers entry. And there's Parker Price Miller and the 29 car, working his way out of turn number 4. PPM out of Kokomo, Indiana, the McCandless Motorsports McCandless Ford entry. Another one we saw in action with IRA at 34 Raceway this past weekend. Had a strong weekend over there. And we'll go green here with Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2. Brendan Mullen also on the speedway right there, the 11 car. NOSA competitor from Grand Forks, North Dakota. And there's Corey Eliason as well in the Indy Race Parts number 71. Everybody's shooting for Anthony Macri's time, 15.584. You see Riley Goodnow, Knoxville, Iowa racer, in the white 22 car working his way around the speedway as well. And a big jump there. Austin McCarl goes to the top, 14.835. And PPM goes with them into the 14-second bracket, 14.956.
Track getting faster as we expected. Seeing those times jump with this group.
And checkered flag already waving here as the final few cars complete their laps. And there's your new fast man in hot laps. Justin Sanders over off of turn number 2 right now. The Swindell Speed Lap 39 fastest thus far. Fastest in that group. 14.828. Austin McCarl second fastest, 14.835. Corey Eliason goes to third at a 14.854. And Parker Price Miller also busts through the 15-second barrier to a 14.956.
This is the first race of the season for Justin Sanders with Kevin Swindell and that Swindell Speed Lab. They're expecting to run the full High Limit Series schedule, but it's their first time together this season. Hooked up last year at Knoxville, and was talking to Kevin in the pit area earlier today. They didn't really know one another, but thought a couple of components looking to connect, and ended up getting together and making some good waves with their driver and car combination.
And you talked to a lot of people in the pit area about Justin, kind of a working man's racer, has a day job back at home in California, and has not traveled nationally a ton just because of that. Also takes care of a couple cars, including one that he drives back on the local wing sprint car scene in California. So busy guy, but takes advantage of every opportunity he gets in good equipment at the national level, and certainly will be fun to watch on the entire High Limit Tour this year. Group 3 of 6 out on the speedway right now. And again, it's a 14.828 that everybody is chasing here. Justin Sanders laying that down, and cars firing here for group number 3. First one off the push truck is going to be Carson Macedo out of Lemoore, California, the Jason Johnson Racing Outlaw Mesilla Valley Transportation Tarleton and Son entry. Two-time winner this year at Volusia. And behind him, Blake Hahn, the multi-time ASCS champion from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. That yellow 52 car there on the backstretch. In the Smiley's Racing's products, drivewfx.com, Glenn Steyer's Racing entry. Brett Becker, saw him on the backstretch, the 2 car, and Jake Newman in front of him in the 3N machine. Brett Becker out of Odessa, Texas. One Man and a Dog Lawn Care Excel Compression entry. There's Sheldon Hodenshield out of Worcester, Ohio. NOS Energy Drink Stenhouse Junior Marshall Racing entry. And already green here for Hot Lap session number 3. Frank Rogers out there as well in the 6X car, working his way into turn number 1. Zev Wise as well, the Radine Racing number 26. We mentioned his win at Williams Grove just this past weekend in thrilling fashion for Anthony Macri. Garrett Williamson in the 24 car as well. The Bryant Paver Motorsports Impact Signs entry. Multi-time winner with the Sprint Invaders Series, Justin Peck. Always a threat, always a contender in that blue and black and yellow 13 car, as is Bill Baylog, the North Pole Nightmare, 17B on the screen, 10-time champion with IRA. Sheldon Hodenshield now the fastest man in the pits, 14.719. Wise quick in this group as well, second fastest of this handful of cars on the racetrack. He's 6th overall to 15.060.
Hodenshield comes in on a roll. He won Friday night at 36 Raceway. SJM Racing. Kyle Ripper working the wrenches for the 17.
And a 14.718, the new mark to aim for. Second quickest in that group, 6th overall, was Zeb Wise at a 15.060. He was in that white and blue Rudine Racing number 26, but it's still Hodenshield. Sanders now to second at a 14.828. Austin McCarl at a 14.835 is third, with Corey Eliason and Parker Price Miller rounding out the top 5. Good look here at Cole Macedo on the front stretch in the team car to brother Carson Macedo. 14. Philip Dietz owned entry. And Cole's another one that's going to be awfully busy this season. Race out in California, kind of an outlaw schedule for Tommy Tarleton in the 21 car. He'll be here in the Midwest racing for Ray Brooks, trying to defend his Attica Speedway championship from a year ago. Has already been in action in another car as well down in Florida and in Ohio as well. So doing whatever he can to get behind the seat of a race car, or behind the wheel of a race car into the seat of one. And a great opportunity for him again here, teaming up with Philip Dietz. Saw them in action at Knoxville last year, and I believe a couple other races, but always great to have Cole in the field tonight.
That's Brooke Tatnell in the 7 car, that black car rolling off second there on the inside, just got past. But Tatnell from Australia, Sandvik Motorsports, Morton Buildings, Heartland Kitchen Solutions.
Brenham Crouch on the speedway as well, teammate to Buddy Kofoid. Brenham's out of Lubbock, Texas, High Plains Building Division, Carbon Safety Technologies entry. And there's Kyle Larson working his way into turn number 3. The Paul Silva number 57, the white car, now working his way around the bottom of 3 and 4 for Young Money out of Elk Grove, California. Tim Kading with us as well, the 3TK for Jason Sides Motorsports. Coming out of turn number 4 right now, one of the other legendary drivers in the field tonight, Knoxville Nationals winner. And Artie Green here for hot lap session number 3. Scott Boguski in the Brendan Eikenberry number 25 car, seeing him on flow, working down the back straightaway right now. Brian Brown behind him from Higginsville, Missouri. Casey's FVP number 21 entry. Logan Schuhart with us as well right there, the 1S. Hanover, Pennsylvania racer for Shark Racing. No Jacob Allen tonight, just Schuhart. Aaron Reitzel with us as well in the Ridge & Sons Racing number 8. Brent Marks there in the 19M. And he goes to second fastest, Marks does. Well, for a moment, then he just got bumped down by 2 more. Logan Schuhart goes to the top, 14.670. And Brian Brown right there as well. Down to a 14.670 for this guy on the front straightaway right here, Logan Schuhart in the 1S. And Brian Brown, the white 21, Casey's FVP sponsored entry, just lost out right there. 0.002 of a second, 14.672, the difference between those two. Sheldon Hodenshield down to third at a 14.718. Brent Marks also fast in that group, third quickest of the cars you just saw, 14.726. He's fourth overall, with Justin Sanders now rounding out the top 5.
Good look at Schuhart. Had a conversation with him down in the pits earlier today about getting adjusted to the new tire that Hoosier is using, new left side and right side rears, and some have adjusted quicker than others, and if you can get your arms around it, you're running pretty good. If you're not, then maybe you're struggling a little bit out of the gate, but Schuhart said that they feel like they're getting their arms around it, and he believes, even though they're not great right now, he believes it's going to be a good tire and it's going to create good racing, and he's looking forward to it. He's very positive thinking about what they're going to be able to do this season with that team. A couple of new members on the 1S.
Yeah, and just a different compound and a different tread pattern, kind of everything that went into this tire just designed effectively as a cost-saving initiative, just to help the teams be able to utilize the tire multiple nights and more nights. They already would utilize some tires multiple nights, but this tire kind of designed to be reversible, if you will, on the sense of the side of the tire that you put on the inside of the car, and just a few other things just to help the tire last a little bit longer so teams can get their money's worth out of them. So kudos to Hoosier certainly on thinking of the racers in that regard as Hot Lap session number 4 presented by Dirt Draft rolls onto the speedway. Good look there at Danny Dietrich in the Randy Gass, number 48 for the High Limit Series this year. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania native, set to run 123 races this year. That's an ambitious schedule and his busiest. He'll probably lose a few to rainouts here and there, but that's the plan for now, at least, is 123 for Double D. Ayrton Jeniton behind him, working his way through the middle of 3 and 4 right now. Driver out of Missouri in the 3-car, Fisher Motorsports High Performance Lubricants Ozark Barge and Dock entry. There's Paulie Colagiovanni. He's going to be a high roller as well. Cicero, New York native. Made a handful of Wayne 360 starts this year already. Chase Randall, quickest chicken, driver out of Waco, Texas. And the Bush's chicken, number 9, working his way into turn number 3. And there's Donnie Schatz, Fargo, North Dakota. He needs no introduction. Tony Stewart Racing, CarQuest Ford Performance, number 15. Good to have Don with us tonight. Sam Haferteep Jr. as well, the other 15 car in the field. That's the 15H. Sunnyvale, Texas racer David Gravel with us as well from Watertown, Connecticut. The Huset Speedway, BillionAuto.com, number 2. One of a couple 6 cars working down the racetrack. That's Carson McCarl out of Altoona, Iowa. Jeremy Skadden Construction, Jetco, sponsored number 6. And Justin Henderson in the BDS Motorsports, number 1 car. Regular at the Knoxville Speedway, 3-time winner this past year, twice at Huset's. And checkered flag already waving here for Hot Lap session number 4. It's still Logan Schuchart at the top of the pylon, 14.670. Fastest in that group, though, David Gravel in the 2-car. Just pulling off the racetrack on the backstretch. Watertown, Connecticut native. Huset Speedway, BillionAuto.com on the side of that race car. Infield's getting busy. Qualifying is up next, once again, presented by Capital Renegade. See Hunter Schoenberg on the racetrack as well, right here in front of us in the 55 car. Been a tough week for Hunter and family. As many of you probably aware, the motorhome and merch trailer that they were pulling home from racing action this past weekend caught fire and lost everything inside of it. But a handful of drivers on social media have gone above and beyond to find ways to donate and help Hunter and Jess and their entire family, and certainly been great to see. There it is on the screen if you're watching on FloRacing. Rico Abreu kind of has been the one spearheading this entire process to send some racing T-shirts to Hunter and Jess's kids, Whelan and younger sister Wynn, and there's a Venmo option as well. If you're on Facebook or on social media, you can check out Rico's page for more information if you'd care to donate or care to help, and it certainly would be appreciated, I'm sure. And there is Rico right here as well in the 24 car on the front straightaway. St. Helena, California racer.
There's the 44, Chris Martin, Ankeny, Iowa, C&D Elevator Construction, Youngco Builders, Higher View Enterprises, the 55 of Schoenberg that you mentioned, Dylan.
Vermeer Racing entry, working his way into turn number 3. In front of him, Tyler Courtney from Indianapolis. And the Clausen Marshall Racing NOS Energy Drink 7BC for Sunshine. 2-time and defending All-Star Circuit of Champions champion. Good to have Zoom Dusty Zomer back with us. Another one who is committed to the full slate of high limit racing this year. Brandon, South Dakota native. Got Danny Lasowski on the wrenches. And the Zomer Trucking ACS Roofing number 3J. Macho Man Brady Bacon also with us tonight, working his way out of turn 4, the TKH 21H. Casey Kane on the speedway in front of us here. Caravan Trailers number 9. Recently named one of NASCAR's greatest 75 drivers, which I know was quite an honor for him. Good look at Spencer Baston as well on the speedway, watching on FloRacing. Lebanon, Indiana racer, and the CJB Motorsports True Timber Cambo entry. JJ Hickel as well, ripping around here in hot lap session number 4, the 97 car. The Sealing Motorsports entry. Track may be starting to plateau on speed gained, at least here through these first 3 hot lap sessions. And just as I say that, Tyler Courtney proves me wrong. 14.634. And he goes to the top. New mark to chase. Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. The 7BC rolling into 1 and 2 right now. 14.634. So he bests Logan Schuhart's time of 14.670.
Already a couple of wins for Sunshine early in the season. He won at East Bay in the Winter Nationals back in February. Took a little bit of a break and very excited about getting back out here and having a shot at 50,000 tonight. Of course, the 2-time defending champ of the All-Star Series.
So that's it. I was my math education has clearly failed me here. Tyler Courtney going to end up fastest in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and that'll bring us now to qualifying presented by Capital Renegade. And again, we'll do split qualifying here. So one half of the field will go out first, and you'll qualify against your group, and that will set heat race lineups. Again, all just based on where you qualify within your group, and it'll be straight up. A little bit later on once we do go heat racing. So we'll keep you afloat of who's where, but for now it's Group A, and Anthony Macri is set to be the one to lead us off, and he'll be joined on the racetrack by Buddy Kofoid. And again, you'll need to be in the top 22 in your group to avoid the non-qualifiers race. So that's kind of the target for everybody here. And signal been given to push the first 2 cars, so they'll come out of the infield here, and we'll get set to go with our first 2 qualifiers here in Group A. First on the racetrack will be the driver out of Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. In the C&D Rigging J&S Classics, number 39M, here's the Concrete Kid. It's Anthony Macri.
What a great year for Macri last year. 23 wins. Sprint Car Racing's winningest driver in 2022. Macri in that 39.
Buddy Kofoid out there as well. Driver out of Penn Grove, California, the Crouch Motorsports High Plains Building Division. Mobile 1, number 11. As Macri already makes his way through 3 and out of 4. Lap 1 in the books. It's a 14.597.
Kofoid 14.647 with his first lap.
So Macri faster right now and better on lap 2, 14.546. We'll see what Buddy's got on his second lap. It's a little slower. He'll take the first one, 14.647. So Macri sets the early mark, 14.546, already faster than what we had in hot laps. Rolling right along here, Gio Scelzi next on the speedway. Driver out of Fresno, California. In the KCP Racing Logan Contractor Supply. Ted's Body Shop, number 18 at the top of your screen if you're watching on FloRacing. And Slater Helt on the bottom of the screen, the black 22S from Cactus Flats, Missouri. In the Helt's Turf Farms, Regency Homes, Randy Davidson Trucking entry.
Scelzi's first lap, 14.651, third quickest. Followed up by Slater Helt's just over 15 seconds at an 0.006.
Gio already working his way under the checkered flag to complete his run. He'll go to second quick, 14.586. 14.586 for Gio Scelzi, and Slater Helt's second lap is slower. He'll take his first lap, 15.006. Next two qualifiers on the speedway. Working his way into turn number 3 at the top of your screen on Flow right now from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That's Ryan Timms and the Sitgard Engine Oil Western Flyer Express Hample Oil entry. And Joe B. Miller is working his way around the speedway as well at the bottom of your screen out of turn 2 right now. And that car sounds sick, and he is off the pace.
Yeah, Joe B had some smoke coming off the car during hot laps, you may have remembered, and it's not gotten any better, just worse. Timms 15.021 on his first lap, 5th quick. And a little slower on the second lap, so he'll keep that first one at a 15.021.
So Joe B should get one at the end, I believe, if they're able to get those issues righted. And they're going to go out. So I think they maybe are going to call that one good and try and get it sorted for the heat races. So everybody's still chasing Anthony Macri right now, 14.546. Giovanni Scelzi second quickest at a 14.586. And Buddy Kofoid third at a 14.647. Dylan Westbrook onto the speedway now. The driver out of Scotland, Ontario, Canada, in the True North.bet Nitro 54 variety Sovereign Fusion entry. And Frank Rogers in the 6X. Out of Lucas, Iowa. Been a while since Frank's been behind the wheel, but great to have him with us here this evening. Lap number 1 for Dylan Westbrook is 4th quickest at a 14.838. And slower on lap 2, it looks like, for Westbrook. Frank Rogers' first lap of 15.845. So Westbrook going to take his first lap, 14.838.
Rogers a little quicker on the second at a 15.729, but still slowest of the group so far. Brad Sweet on track, the big cat in the 49.
Napa Auto Parts, Casey Kane Racing Team ASE entry. And Connor Morrell, also out there in the 2MD, Palmetto, Florida racer. Driving for Mark Daly in the Tubba-Towels Amelie Oil entry. White flag for the big cat. Lap number 1. He goes all the way to 4th, 14.685. And Morrell's first lap clocks in at 3rd quick. How about that? 14.586. Sweet goes faster on lap 2 at a 14.568. And Morrell going to take his first lap, 14.629, but it's a good one, good enough for 4th fastest. Sweet goes to 2nd there at a 14.568. Alex Bowman out now, working his way through 3 and 4. Racer out of Tucson, Arizona, in the Ally Day Chaser Slade Shocks, number 55X. And Tim Estenson on the speedway as well in the 14T machine. Racer out of Fargo, North Dakota, Mission Foods, Arai Helmets, Zoe's CBDE sponsored entry.
Bowman's first lap, a good one, up into the 5th spot. And he's going to stay right there at a 14.640, 5th quickest for Bowman. Estenson at a 14.833, 7th fastest.
And his second lap just a little better, 14.790 for Estenson, so good enough for 7th. Bowman goes 5th there of those two. Everybody's still chasing Anthony Macri, 14.546. And our next group of qualifiers onto the speedway in the 2KS from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia. The Albaugh, Iowa Barnstormers, DeWitt Construction entry. That's Ian Madsen. And Justin Sanders on the speedway as well from Aromas, California, the Swindell Speed Lab Victory Fuel, number 39. White flag already waving here
Madsen 7th quick on his first lap. Sanders to the top. How about it? 14.511 on that first lap. Fastest of the groups. Looked good in hot laps and backed it up here in qualifying. Fastest so far for Justin Sanders, 14.511.
Corey Eliason and Brennan Mullen, our next qualifiers. Eliason at the top of your screen if you're watching on Flow. In the Indy Race Parts, number 71, Bernie and Betsy Stoops and DKW Transport entry for the Visalia, California racer. And Brendan Mullen in the 11 from Grand Forks, North Dakota, the Native Nations Cannabis Linfoot Heating and Cooling, number 11. Lap number 1 for Corey Eliason.
To the top.
Quick time, 14.486. So the mark continues to drop and backs it up. Brendan Mullen is 13th at a 14.999, but Corey Eliason goes to the top of the board at a 14.486. Austin McCarl on the speedway right now, racer out of Altoona, Iowa, in the 88. Kutcher Builders Construction, Koltoff Electric entry, and Riley Goodnow, a couple of Iowa racers here. Riley's out of Knoxville, and the Quality Traffic Control, Goodnow. Parker Price Miller, he'll take the green flag, racer out of Kokomo, Indiana, the McCandless Motorsports, McCandless Ford entry, and Blake Hahn in the yellow 52 from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Smiley's Race Products, DriveWFX.com, Glenn Stiers Racing entry. White flag already waving for PPM. He goes to 6th fastest, 14.570. And Blake Hahn already working his way down the backstretch as well on his second lap. First lap was a 17th, or 11th rather. 18th, there we go. 15.063. And a good lap for PPM on lap 2, 14.570. He goes to 6th. Last couple of cars here for Group A. Brett Becker, first one onto the speedway. Odessa, Texas racer. And the Excel Compression, one man and a dog lawn care. Number 2B. And Jake Newman from New Berlin, Illinois. In the Brant Professional Agriculture, Modern Paving and Scrap, number 3N. For the former Power I Midget champ and Rookie of the Year last year with the Midwest Open Wheel Association.
Becker 19th at a 15.573. Newman slots into that 19th spot now, bumps Becker to 15.102. Oh, into the wall hard in turn 3.
And that's Jake Newman. Hard contact with the wall in turn 3. Brett Becker completes his run. Austin McCarl, fastest right now here in Group A at a 14.328. Corey Eliason second at a 14.486. Justin Sanders third at a 14.511. Anthony Macri, Brad Sweet, and Parker Price Miller, your top 6. With Gio Scelzi, Connor Morrell, Alex Bowman, Buddy Kofoid, the top 10. Well, if you're watching with us on FloRacing, we'll step aside for just a moment and be back on the other side to finish Group A qualifying here at Lakeside.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick-change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with